Start recording again. Why is there no pause button? All right, you two ready?
Yes.
All right. Anyways, you're just here to fight this heavy both at the same time, or soldier, depending on who's holding it. One of you might die. It's fine. You shouldn't be looking to push out more than like this, though. You don't want to shoot the gun. You don't want to do all that unless they're really letting go this area because they are gonna eventually win this back, right? Just by doing this. Right? But the whole point is you push them out of this, right? So they're back here, which means sniper can shoot him, which means demo can shoot him. It means they're more vulnerable to spy because there's a lot of decloaks around here. And it means that if they want to hide from these players, they have to fully commit out of the fight, right? So, yeah, you don't want to push out more than like this, really, right? Just keep that space and hold it. Um, if you're ever gonna tunnel Uber out of main, which it does actually work, you should not have your demo in this Uber. This is a solo heavy Uber when you're coming out of main. What you want to do is you come out here, blah blah blah. You should call it, or your medic should call it when you're about to die. But try not to Uber super early. You're coming around this corner, and you're just forcing them to flash so many people. What they're likely gonna do, especially because they're low div, is like 3 or 4 people are gonna pounce on you. You're gonna make them all get flash, and their Uber's gonna end really early. And you know what's gonna happen? 3 to 4 of the players are gonna be down here. The rest of your team is gonna be up there. They're gonna have more buffs, and you're gonna have a little bit more of an Uber. So you might actually kill 1 or 2 people or get them really low. But yeah, it's a solo heavy Uber down here. You really don't want to put your demo here, because like, what's he gonna do? Shoot the gun, shoot players? Sure, that doesn't really force flashes though. Unlike heavy. Heavy forces a flash. It is cheese, but it is good cheese. It's one of the better cheeses out there. You know. I think that's pretty much it about Blue Hill for a
Yeah,
second.
I like to do the forbidden put scout on combo on hill and have heavy push cart.
Oh yeah, that's perfectly fine. I mean, this guy's a hard time pushing it anyways. Um, any questions?
But yeah, what was the angle if I was gonna go side tunnel again? Like which the mark not to reach the peek out on?
Uh, really like getting past the shutter, right? You don't want to peek out more than like that. Because then a sniper who's sitting back here might shoot you, the gun might shoot you, the demo might just turn around and shoot you. Um, you're here so that if they want to fight you, they have to get into a sight line. You shouldn't be fighting side tunnel if your team is not fighting hill, right? Because then they're all just gonna pounce on you with no like repercussions. But if you hear you force them out during a mid fight, they might drop a player or two just because they're so like confused. That's like what's going on. Like, oh shit, they're here, but they're also here. Like it's kind of it's hard to fight two angles. But yeah, try not to peek past the shutter, essentially. Now, third, pretty simple dimple. You don't ever really want to fight this main hill unless you have Uber advantage, or maybe like a huge player advantage. Um, But if you are gonna do that, then just come up here around this corner with your Uber players. You just bum rush this point and like win off of your advantage. Um, if both teams are even in player count or Ubers, then you're just gonna lose it. So don't even try it. Um, and if that is the case, what you do is you play out here. Um, you're mostly protecting your team for most of the time. So your team is rotating through here. You're just making sure there's no spy, there's no soldier or whatever. Watch their back. Come out here, spot check these corners if your pyro didn't. Um, and then you got two options. Either you play near ladders and you just kind of hold this angle and not let them peek out, or you kind of play on these rocks. You could come up here and do this, and you do the same thing but a little bit more general. You could even get up here. And then, you know, you have supreme space. By the way, spy check this. Spies can get up here. Um, and you're just kind of spy checking and making sure no one gets bombed. Because soldiers gonna want to bomb your medic at some point. So you're making sure that doesn't happen. And if you're setting ladders, you're making sure no one comes out of ladders. One thing you can do is while your demo pressures this, so, you know, you could tell your demo, hey, pressure the heavy on head glitch. You just come ladders, you peek it like this, and you just immediately gun them down. Um, if you are ever in ladders, you get a pick, and then you back up. Alright, don't try to get more unless you're, like, really have an advantage. Like, once you get that pick, they're gonna try and kill you, and they can quite easily. So don't stay for too long. Um, anyways. If your team is mostly pushing out of this area, then you want to make sure no one comes through here. You want to make sure you can shoot cart if they pressure cart. Um, you are pretty much just post Uber on third blue. You really don't want to be there during an Uber. So, you know, post up here, post up there, um, all that kind of stuff. Try and force players out of here and stuff. Make sure no spy decloaks. You could sit here and like, you know, just check everything. You got 100 pack here, so you should be fine. And yeah, you're just there for post. If if you want to surprise their team, you can come through under as your team like pushes through. With an Uber, it's really good. So if you come up here, you rev up here, it means no one can be in this area. So that's pretty good. I wouldn't try and do it like every game. Just if pushing through flank or main isn't working, you know, you can try it. Any questions?
We're good.
Okay. Fourth is pretty hard. I still, you know, have trouble pushing heavy on fourth. In general, a safe option is you just hold red room all day. You're just here, you know, you're shooting this, you're coming up to here. If you have Tomislav, you can hide in these corners, but if you have minigun, you might not want to hide too much. Um, you know, you're just making sure no one walks through here. You're making sure you can shoot cart if they start aggressing up here. Making sure spy can't decloak back here. You know, you checking that, check that, check that. Um, and you're pushing in while your team is pushing. You don't want to do it alone, right? So if you notice your team is dropping down and pushing big door, for example, then you can push out here and start shooting this. Spy check like you're paranoid as hell, by the way, in this corner. Spies love to decloak around here. I've had a spy decloak like right here. I just didn't notice because you know, it's kind of hard to see. Um, but yeah, push while your team is pushing. You don't want to push this alone ever. You're gonna lose. Well, you're gonna win sometimes just because you're lucky, but that's, you know, that's not a good habit. Um, Another option is pushing through main and getting to this head glitch. I think this is good if you have some kind of advantage, whether it be Uber, players, or if your team is fully pushing out of flank. So like, yes, let's say they're exchanging over there, and you can come here and kind of distract people, shoot the gun, shoot anyone around here. You're also spy food here. You have two good decloaks on you, so you know, be careful about that. But yeah, I used to really like pushing flanks heavy, but the more I've played heavy, the more I realize it just kind of stinks, and it's better for someone else to do it. Um, so yeah. If you're gonna try it, if you're ever gonna push flank, which you know, experiment, right? Try things out. Push. You need to push fast, right? You don't ever want to be in this area for more than like 5 seconds, like 5 or 10 seconds, because you're gonna get shit on. You know, so get up here, shoot people. This is an okay spot for shooting people here and like back there, but you're probably gonna have to like do this, right? And like jump up here. Um, but yeah, don't stay here for too long if you are gonna push it. Any questions about last? Dan?
I'm thinking. I'm thinking. All right. right, if their combo is aggressive in Red Room, like, what would you do? Like, would you just fall back or?
Um, well, I'd fall back initially, right? Because I don't want to get killed immediately. But you just gather your team. So if they're really pushing through it, then that means your flank has more opportunities to like fuck around. But you win this fight as a team, right? Your demo has the advantage here. This is a better angle for you in the sticky launcher. You can just, right? And if they get caught out, like if a demo's peeking this wide, he's shooting this, you put stickies right here, he's just gonna die, right? He's gonna get bounced outwards. Um, so short answer is you just fight them as a team. If they're really trying to push it, fuck it, fight out here, fight them. You're gonna win it. Um, if they're like kind of in this area, but they're not fully pushing in, you can have your demo pyro heavy quickly peek this and like get a pick and then back up. Um, I wouldn't push your whole team through Red Room all the way unless there's no gun and pyro. Because if they have either of those, you just kind of lose Red Room push right away. Um, but if they're, yeah, just counter it, you'll win. You'll win the fight if you counter their push. Is that sufficient?
Yeah,
Okay. Now going to first. Alright. First is pretty simple. You got like two options. Number one is you sit up here and you just kind of play this corner with your team, right? So if you're soldier, demo, scout are up here shooting things, you just make sure to ask them like, hey, tell me when to peek, right? And let's say their team starts walking out here, you just peek out and kill their demo. You're probably gonna die here, to be honest. If you don't, even if you don't die, you should leave after the first time doing it. But you're just playing here to make sure they can't get a lot of space on flank. Okay. Mother yelling at cat in the background, ignore that. Yeah, that's one option. I'd only do it like once. I wouldn't try and get back there if you died or if you got pushed out. Um, your other option is you sit in this flank area and you deny their soldier from coming in, and you also have a small chance of stopping their spy from coming in, but that's less likely. Um, the most passive I'd be is like here, right? Just making sure their soldier literally cannot. I heard you. I heard you. Um, make sure their soldier doesn't just like bomb through. Try not to get stabbed. Their spy is gonna see a heavy here and he's gonna like decloak on you. So don't get stabbed. Um, you can be in this corner like at the start, just kind of shooting them. Make sure soldier doesn't get in your face. Like chump blocking their spy. The most aggressive I'd ever get is kind of this area, and I'd only do it for like a little bit. I wouldn't try to permanently hold here because their sniper could just come out and headshot you immediately from spawn, and you can't do anything about it. You're also very easy to stab, but you know, if you like kill three people and you want to hold the cart, then you can come up here and shoot and stand here for a bit. Um, I had a heavy, or I've like heard of a heavy, who sits here with Tomislav. He waits for the spy to come and take the pack, and then he kills the spy. It's hilarious. I wouldn't do it every single time, because then he would just skip you sometimes. But if you want to like freak him out a little bit, and like go for a funny play, you can try it. But, yeah, most of the time you're just sitting here, or here. This is a better spot. Make sure you don't get headshot here. And you're just stopping the soldier from coming in. You're stopping any decloaks here. You can also do that. Shoot this. Check that. They can stand on this if you didn't know. Any questions about first?
I'm good.
Okay. Alright, you got a couple theories on second. Personally, as I've played more, I've matured and I've gravitated more towards holding on this rock with my combo. Um, your job is you deny any players trying to walk up this area, where you can very easily shoot them down here. Especially a heavy who tries to fight you, you can kind of win that fight pretty easily. Um, and you could shoot, you could also help your engineer with spy. Just check that, check that, check that. You're gonna have a dispenser right here, so you shouldn't run out of ammo. Um, and then if someone on my hill dies, let's say my demo dies, my sniper dies, I replace them, right? So if I'm shooting here and my demo dies, I quickly come over here and I replace my demo for like 10, 15 seconds. Um, but you make sure not to push out too far out, because this fight isn't one you're gonna win, and you can get a headshot. So I'd really just kind of do this, just scaring them, not allowing them to like play past this area. Um, but yeah, you're a replacement for your demo, and you're the guy who's shooting cart and main tunnel. The other option is you sit on side tunnel with your soldier, or your soldier plays over there, and you're just denying this space. You want to probably be pretty close to this wall. You can bait a lot of spies by just like staring at this, right? And every now and then spy checking this. You are spy food here, so be wary of that. You're just making sure a player doesn't walk up into your face and like, get the space for free. But you're also playing contact. You should not die in this area. You should be like if you're it's a 1v1, you can fight it. But if it's a 2v1, you're backing up, you're getting this pack, and you're fighting this angle instead. Um, of course, if they have players on the hill, then it's a little bit hard. You might want to just kind of, entirely go left side. But, um, yeah, I find that it's better if your soldier just sticks to the side and you stick to that side. And if he needs you, you can come over here. But, most of the time, he won't really need you to. Okay, because this is better. This is better than minigun, for sure. Now, you could choose either one, but I'd say it's safer if you just play over here. This is more proven. It's been the strategy for longer and for a good reason. Um, if your medic is trying to build, do not sit in the dispenser because then you build twice as slow. Alright, any questions?
I'm good.
Okay. Also, ask for crit heals a lot. This is just in general. On third, you got three options. It's probably my best point, but you got three options. Probably the most common one that you do know, or like most obvious, is like this corner. So you can head glitch this, right? You can fight people here. You can crouch and they can't shoot you. If they Uber through the ladder, then they have to kill you, right? And they might just not notice you. You can get a lot of picks like that. The other obvious option is just this, right? You're just fighting this. You're fighting players here. You're just making sure they can't walk up and cap the point. And the less known option is actually back here. You might have never done this ever, Dust Dan, but if you just sit back here and you deny cart from this angle, and you deny any flank players, you can do a lot of work. Um, there's an alarm going off. Hold on.
Fire alarm or just like a normal alarm?
I don't know. I'm gonna check. Alright, I have no idea what that was. Um, anyways, so if you're holding here with your flank, the reason you're doing this is so that you can shoot the right side of cart.
And if you're back, you're still muted.
Damn it. Um, if you're sitting here, you can shoot the cart from the right side, which is pretty good. You could deny players trying to push out of here. And you also just, give more work to anyone who's trying to push flank. Now, you might be thinking, if there's three different spots, what's the point of all of them? The alarm is going off again. I'm gonna ignore it again. Um, The if you want to sit on this spot when you have some kind of advantage, whether it be a lot of players, whether it be Uber, or maybe you just have a ton of space. You want to sit up here because then they have to work more to get the space, like this basic space, right? Um, but if you don't have an advantage, right? If they have more players than you, if they have Uber and you don't, or you're the only one who's forward, you're gonna die very fast. So, okay, now my dad is calling me. Hold on. Okay, that was weird. Uncle Poods, was it with you in our first review where I had actually called an ambulance mid-review?
Yes, it was me, with me.
Yeah, that was funny. Um, anyways, where was I? Yeah, you don't want to be here if they have some kind of advantage, right? If they have Uber, if they have more players, you're just gonna blow up. So you need Uber or a lot of player ad to play up here. Um, if you don't have those things, you can play back here, right? You can deny cart really well, right? If you're up here, you actually can't deny cart very much just because they could sit behind it. Um, but if you're here, you can shoot that a lot. This is a pretty easy spot to get to. You can honestly run Gru just to very quickly come over here, but come through this area, walk through here. I've caught a couple spies out just by accident, just because they decloaked here thinking it was safe. And then I come through. Um,
Did I miss a lot?
yes.
Yeah.
I
All
recorded
right.
it. I recorded it. It's
Oh,
fine.
okay. Oh, sweet.
But
Awesome. Thank you.
yeah, you just kind of want to. If you're here in this area, then you get to shoot cart for free. It's really hard to headshot you. If a sniper's coming out wide to peek you, anyone can kill him. So that shouldn't be a threat. Now, this spot, this is like the last spot you want to be. This spot fucking sucks. Not only is it hard to shoot people here, because it's facing down and they can like dodge a lot. If you're peeking this at all, you get killed by demos and snipers for free,
Oh, yeah.
essentially.
Oh, fuck.
Um,
Sniper's fucking shit on me
the
when I
only
turn that on.
reason you want to be in this spot is because there's nothing else and you have no time to get there or there. This is like a cart is almost up, but we think we can still hold it spot. Um, like you're probably gonna die here. This is a shit spot, but it's the easiest to get to. So, you have three different spots. Um, this is the most useful, but it's the hardest to get to. This is the easiest to get to, but it's the least useful, and this is kind of in the middle. So that's kind of how you want to think about it. Um, any questions?
How did you go over like the transition from losing what is it? Losing fourth to like getting to this area? Because that's a big problem that we had as a
Like, you mean
team.
losing second?
Yeah, losing second, sorry,
When you
and getting out for here.
Well, the skill and kind of like making sure you don't get rolled through Vigil and really any upward map or up any payload map, but especially Vigil is, realizing when you're gonna lose. Because a
Mm.
lot of the lower div teams especially don't realize they're gonna lose, so they completely
Yep.
wipe. Yeah, they completely wipe, and then the next point might as well be like a GG's. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Uh,
you'll just kind of learn more as you play more, but in general, if you're just losing a lot of players, but you're not getting anything out of losing those players, you want to start looking to leave. You want to start looking to play a little bit more passive. If you're the only one who's forward because the rest of your team is dead, that means you should leave. Or at least go for something massive. But probably just leave. Um, there's no real easy way for me to like tell you like how to get
yeah.
out alive. It's just kind of a skill that you'll eventually get better at. you know, realizing when you're winning, when you're losing, all that. Um, I'll say this. If cart is like right here and you don't have at least 6 or 7 people alive, you should be leaving.
Hmm.
So if you only got 5 people alive, you want to leave. Because they're just going to respawn faster and they're going to crush you. And you don't want that to happen. So if you
Right.
leave early, you have 5 people and then you get another spawn wave that's 8, 9 people, then guess what? You just do another hold. It's fine, you didn't wipe.
Yeah. Because I like the head glitch area. I've been using that like a lot. But the problem is our medic, he never crosses the road. I guess because I never get a buff there. I only get like arrows from time to time, which is kind of tough. Because an outstanding soldier bomb or something, I would maybe get him and then just get kind of shredded by a scout or something.
Yeah, you're not gonna be getting buffed here. Like, you shouldn't be worrying about getting buffed
Oh,
here
okay.
just
I
because it's so
shouldn't.
out of the
All
way.
right.
Um, what else? You missed this part. But
I did. I'm
you don't
sorry. I'm
you don't
sorry.
want to sit in here unless you have some kind of like advantage, whether it be Uber or player ad. So if it's
Hmm.
completely even on both sides, both teams have Ubers, both teams have like the same amount of players, you might want to back up a little bit because you're just gonna die there really fast, right? You might want to play back here or something. Um,
Gotcha.
but if you have Uber, you know, if they lost a demo, if they lost a soldier, if they lost a scout, something big like that, you can play here. That's fine. But yeah, it's not a disadvantage area. All right, I'm
Cool.
gonna move on to fourth now. Um, Pretty simple. It's either you hold left or right. Um, I think a lot of heavies like to hold left. You got two options. You could either sit in this corner, spy check all day, and you don't get headshot, and you just play out during post. So, like, the big fight is happening, and then you peek out as your demo is also shooting the other demo, and you just do a lot of damage. The other option is a little bit more aggressive, is kind of up here. Um, right, so you can play here, your demo's behind you, your pyro's behind you, and you're making sure that no one can walk onto here and no one can walk right up to this area. If you have Tomislav, you can honestly sometimes just ask for a full buff and then with your demo, walk through here, get a pick or two, and then back up. You probably shouldn't be fully pushing out of Red Room. Um, but if you just get a full buff, your demo walkthrough, it's very common that you would just find a random player sitting here thinking, "Oh, I'm safe, right, guys?" Or maybe a random med drop, who knows? Um, but yeah, kind of play like you want to play Tommy Slab on last. By the way, that's I never play minigun on last. Um, the other option is kind of here. If you're here on these boxes, you do have to go all the way around to get up here, right? So you have to go through here, right? And you have to jump up here. This is pretty decent. You get a lot of crit heals for free, essentially. Most of the time, you want to just sit here, right? You don't get sniped, but you can see where their sniper is. So you could call it. If you see their sniper at red room, you can call it. If you see their sniper, you know, tracks, you can call it. You can spy check this, you can spy check that, and that. Um, You want to play for contact here. You don't want to die on these boxes. So if you're sitting here and their demo, pyro, scouts start walking up, you might want to take like 100 damage or so and then back up and let your team handle it. Right? You want to make sure you call that their combos through flank. Um, by the way, if you go into respawn and you resup, you get your crit heals back. It's a
Oh, sure.
because spawn is right there, on this map especially, if you're 300 HP and you just took damage, go resup. Just go resup, get your ammo back, get your crit heals back, and you're back up to 450.
Yeah.
Alright, it's honestly pretty simple. Heavy on last, there's not much more to it. The most complex is going to be here in Red Room. Don't ever push this alone, right? Ask for a buff, ask for your demo to walk with you for like 5 seconds, push it, and then back out. If you do it alone, then you're gonna lose fights a lot of times. Unless you get lucky, of course. If you're sitting in this corner, make sure to watch out for bombs, because I don't know the exact bomb, but there's some crazy bomb you could fucking do here. I don't know, something like that. I don't know what it's like, but
Are you guys? I think Duster's like uh, main, right? Like
Intermediate.
main. Oh, okay, right on.
all right. Any questions about last?
What if I played a little bit more forward on last flank,
That's what
had
I
the switch
do. I'm
first?
I'm really
Because I
aggressive
feel
with
just
my
some of
duel
these
man.
because that,
Like here?
like there basically, yeah.
Um,
You
what's
can
gonna
pick out the
happen to
boxes.
you if they start growing a brain cell? Is they're just gonna do this. Soldiers
Yeah,
up
like
here.
if you're especially in flank though, if it's like if you're too aggressive, they're gonna have quite a bit of people there who are ready to just take you out. And the reason why
Yeah,
you sort of play on the passive on the crates and flank is so like they have to peek you. You don't want to peek them.
yeah,
That's like one of the most important things is heavy.
yeah. And the only way you should be dying on these boxes is a random sniper, or like you just didn't notice that they rushed you down, right? Which is a skill issue. You're playing passive here because you suck at fighting this flank area. Wow, I can't jump. But your team doesn't suck, right? If your scout comes through here because of your calls and he kills like 2 people, yay, you did your job, you did your calls. And guess what? If you back up and you call for your team to walk through, you can just play main and make sure they don't get bombed or flanked. Right? You can protect the gun, stuff like that. So I find myself
Yeah.
switching between left and right a lot on last, right? Um, but
Would it matter at all where the sentry is?
I mean, sentry's always gonna be here.
Okay, so we had some goofy sentry spots,
It
like
Like
it
left.
I
should
mean,
just be here every single time.
typically it's
Okay,
crates in the middle or sometimes in the pocket, but that doesn't really
yeah,
matter about your positioning.
okay.
Yeah. I think that wraps it up. I'm gonna stop recording for now.